Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night. I don't know what time you're on YouTube. Could be 3 a.m. in Australia right now for you. I have no idea, but my name is Chris Silveda. I'm the founder of Simple Listing Solutions. Welcome to this, 4, 5, 6, 7-minute little training webinar. Let me help you get business today. Again, I'm the founder of Simple Listing Solutions. You can learn more about us over here at simplelistingsolutions.com if you'd like to. But right now we're going to talk about farm areas, how to work a geographic farm area to get more listings, because that's what we help agents do, is get more listings. Probate, divorce, FSBO, expired, farm areas, referrals, right? Farm areas. What did I write here? I'm going to click on this. It says, our geographic farming tools and strategies are rock solid, blah, 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 blah. Door knocking. Okay, we're not going to go into that. We're going to just talk farming. Okay, so think about this. If you're a real estate agent and you want some more listings right now, I believe you ought to have several strategies. And in fact, I believe you ought to have what I call lines in the water. I come from a little bit of a fishing background, so it's like I tow my boat down to Baja and I go down into Loreto and I take it in the harbor there and we head out to sea. We go trolling around the island, Carmen and Don Zante, and there's some great places to fish out there for Dorado and marlin and yellowtail and tuna and all kinds of things. And when we go down there, we don't just troll one line at a time behind the boat, right? Got a couple lines in the water at all times. And we've got different color things happening on those lines. I got a pink lure over there and a red and green one over there and something in the middle running long behind the boat, and the other ones are up close, a little bit shorter, right? We're trying to increase our odds of catching fish. And if you think about listings as fish, you'll start to catch more of them, especially if you are dependent on them to feed yourself and your family. You won't just go down to the pier with one fishing rod and a 6-pack of beer. Well, I hope I do great. That's not fishing to feed your family. Fishing to feed your family means you've got multiple lines in the water. You're the first one on the pier, and you brought a variety of different baits and lures, right, to really increase your odds of catching fish. FSBO fish, divorce fish, probate fish, expired fish, farm area fish, referred fish, right? Non-owner occupied fish, right? The riches are in the niches. And the niche that we're going to discuss right now is your farm area, or 2 or 3 geographic farm areas. Like, how do you really work a geographic farm area? We all know that door knocking works, right? For some people, right? For other people, not so much. But it doesn't mean that door knocking is a bad strategy if it doesn't work for you or it hasn't worked for you. It just means you're not executing very well, right? The difference between really successful entrepreneurs and everybody else, it's not their ideas. They've all got the same ideas floating around out there. It's how they execute. Like, if you're walking down the street knocking on doors on one side of the street and I'm knocking on doors on the other side of the street, maybe I just got 3 solid appointments. Right? 100 doors, I got 3 solid appointments, and I got people calling me back because I know I'm just executing a higher level. I know that, hey, listen, I'm going out, most people aren't going to answer the door. And so what am I going to leave behind? What am I going to stick in the door jamb at eye level? Right? What am I going to leave behind that's going to be compelling enough for people to get it and say, hey, I'm going to call this guy up? It's not something that my title rep gave me. It's got the San Diego Padre baseball season schedule on it and SeaWorld. Who cares? Right? That's not what I would be doing, but maybe that's what you're doing. And when people open the door, I'm dressed properly, I'm smiling, I've got good energy. Hey, how are you? And I'm engaging with people, maybe at a higher level than you are. But we know that door knocking works. I'm not trying to say you got to go do it if you're not a door knocking. I'm just saying that's a system that works when you know how to work it, right? Mail. That works too when you know how to work it. However, most real estate agents waste a ton of money on mail, because they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. There's 2 things that you can mail, right? You can either mail a postcard, which is just like a generic shotgun blast approach, send the same thing, cheap to 5,000 homes, right? Or you can send a letter. That takes a little more work. You got to put it in an envelope. You got to lick the envelope. You got to seal the envelope. You got to put their name and address on it or a label on it, and you got to put a stamp on it. That's different, right? A letter is different than a postcard. Right. A postcard you can send out EDDM, every door direct mail through the United States Postal Service, and you can pay 15 cents per postcard. That's cheap, highly effective. That's a great way to send postcards. If you're going to send a postcard, send it EDDM, every door direct mail through the U.S. Postal Service. Just Google it right now, EDDM, like Echo Delta Delta Mike. right? It stands for every door direct mail. It's a cheap way to get your postcards sent out. Thing is, what kind of an offer are you going to have on a postcard that people are going to respond to? Well, as a real estate agent taking a shotgun approach to an entire geographic area, about the only thing that you can tell people is, hey, listen, I just listed this home in your neighborhood, or I just sold this home in your neighborhood, or find out how much your home would sell for in the next 30 to 60 days. Now, here's the thing. We're talking about execution again. Your headline is 80% of your message. Like, if they don't read the headline, they're not going to read the body text, right? That's why Vogue, Cosmo, that's why they sell so many magazines in the checkout line. People stand there to pay for their, their groceries, and they look over and they say, what? 9 different ways to thrill your man upside down from the chandelier? What? They grab it. The headline sucked me in. I'm going to take this thing home. Right, it's 80% of your message. Now, homeowners, they know that there's this place called Zillow that they can go on to, and how much is my home worth? Zillow. Okay, so as a salesperson, if I want somebody to go to my lead capture website to find out how much their home is worth, I've got to add some sizzle to the steak. Right, so I might have a headline that say, hey, computer-generated reports like Zillow don't have a clue, and they're often wrong by thousands of dollars. Find out with bullseye accuracy how much your home would sell for in the next 30 days. That's a headline. I just made that up right here on the spot. Right, Zillow and other computer-generated online reports, they don't have a clue. They're often wrong by thousands of dollars. Find out how much your home would sell for with bullseye accuracy in the next 30 days. Just visit my, Village Park Home Info, .info, right? Boom, and I'm driving them to a lead capture website where they can say, hey, I want to know how much my home would sell for in the next 30 days. Right? That's the kind of stuff that you can do with postcards. And you can either do it effectively or not so effectively, depending on your message and your offer. Okay, now with letters, that's a whole different thing, right? You're going to put a stamp on that. That's going to cost you a little bit more money. Right? And if you want people to open them up, at a higher degree, you can have a handwritten, address on there, right? Oh, wow, it looks like I got a letter in the mail. You want people to open them up at an even higher degree, don't get a legal size envelope, go get something that looks like a birthday card is in it and handwrite it. Watch those get opened, right? You'll get them opened, but when they open them, then what's going to happen? Well, I don't know. What's your message say, right? Who are you speaking to? Right. So mail, just think of it, there's postcards and there's letters, right? Letters are really designed more for targeting the niches like probate, divorce, FSBOs, expireds, non-owner occupied people who live out of state, right? That's what you're going to do with a letter. Geographic farm area, you're going to go with the postcard approach. Door knocking, it works great when you know how to execute. Right. So how are you farming your geographic farm areas? And by the way, think about this. Listings are a lot like mushrooms. When a listing comes on the market, pops up through the ground, boom, hey, look at that for sale sign. It wasn't there yesterday. Right. Typically, usually, in most markets, there's going to be another 1 or 2 in that neighborhood that come up within the next couple of days. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know why. That's just the way it works. And if you've been in real estate for a while, you recognize that fact. It's just a weird real estate factoid where there's one listing and it seems like it inspires it. Hey, they go, how much did you guys, we're going to put ours on the market too. That just happens. So are you working around other agents, just listeds and just solds? In fact, are you leveraging other agents, just listeds and just solds? Because think about this, you farmers. Right. If I live in your geographic farm area, if I live in the neighborhood where you want to sell homes, really about the only thing that you can tell me, Mr. or Mrs. Real Estate Agent, that's of interest to me is how much did that home down the street just sell for? How long was it on the market? How many offers did they get? How much did it sell for? If you can tell me that, that's interesting. Right. But you don't have to tell me because eventually I'll find out on my own because somebody else will tell me. I'll go snoop around. I'll find that information out soon enough. Right? Or when a home just came on the market, right? How much are they asking for that thing? It just came on the market. I haven't had a chance to stop by and grab a flyer out of the box yet, or actually the flyer box is empty, which is pretty typical. And they haven't had an open house yet. I haven't been out. How much are they asking for it? Like, if you can tell me that, you can hook my attention. So are you leveraging other agents, just listeds and just solds? Because to think about this for a minute, how many agents, when they just list a property, like within 72 hours of getting that listing agreement signed, they've got a letter out to the neighborhood of 500 homes around that home saying, hey, I just listed this home. Very few. And in fact, when that thing closes escrow, how many agents within 24, 48 hours of that thing closing escrow send a letter out to 500 people or a postcard in the neighborhood saying, hey, I just sold this house, this is how much it sold for? Very, very few. They don't operate that quickly if they do that at all. Most of them get their commission check, they go look for their next deal. Right? And that's sort of a target-rich environment. That's an opportunity for you to leverage. Like you need permission from an agent to advertise their listing, but you don't need permission from an agent to advertise their just sold, right? That's just a CMA in the neighborhood sales. So anybody can hand that out. Right. So if you could wait until the end of the month when everything is closing, and on the 30th, you wake up the morning of the 1st, you go, wow, look at all these things that closed escrow. I'm going to take this one right here because I like the price point, I like the neighborhood, I like where it's at, and I'm going to go let all the neighbors around this thing that just sold know how much it just sold for. I'm going to let them know how long it was on the market. I'm going to let them know how many offers came in on the thing. I'm going to let them know the whole story. And I'm going to be the first one to let them know that. Right. How am I going to do that? I'm going to go to 500 homes or 200 homes around that just sold, and I'm going to stick my thing in the door jamb of the door that says, your neighbors at 3752 finally sold their home. See how much they got at justsoldnearyou.info. Right. Oh, then they're going to go over to justsoldnearyou.info, and they're going to see pictures, they're going to see the details. They're going to see how long that thing was on the market. They're going to hear the story. 17 offers. Wow. Oh, it closed for $739,000, and they were originally asking $842. Oh, that's interesting. Right. It's all right there. And then when they're right there looking at it, you know what else they're going to see? Find out how much your home would sell for in the next 30 to 60 days with bullseye accuracy. Don't count on Zillow and other computer, generated online reports that are often wrong by thousands of dollars. You can find out now for free. I'd be happy to tell you. Right. So are you leveraging other agents' just solds? Are you leveraging their just listeds? And when you're knocking on doors, are you just planning that 95% of the people aren't going to open the door, and I've got to have something to leave behind that's going to be compelling, it's going to make them call me up? Right. Are you doing that? Just a good question to ask yourself. So I hope you got some ideas here today. Again, my name is Chris Silveda. I'm the founder of Simple Listing Solutions, and you could come over here to simplelistingsolutions.com and poke around and learn all kinds of things about getting expireds and FSBOs and divorce listings, probate listings. Very lucrative. Divorce, very lucrative. FSBOs, they're easy when you know how to talk to them, right? So come over here and take a look around, and then you can learn some things, and then go do good work. And so now it is, it's still early enough in the morning. I can probably go catch some waves. Make it a great day. Bye.